I want to briefly look at a statement that the failed former president Donald Trump made, in which he announced that he will end crime. Well, cool. I mean, listen, as I said earlier, Trump should have just banned the virus. That would have been the simplest way to end the pandemic. And why not? It's genius, right? Just end crime and then you don't have to deal with it. Trump extraordinarily swollen and very much slurring during this wacky, bizarre statement.
Joe Biden and the defund the police Democrats have turned our once great cities into cesspools of bloodshed and crime.
So already, okay, we're 13 seconds in, but the first 6 seconds were silent. Okay, so we're 7 seconds in. Trump is already telling endless lies. The defund the police Democrats. I still never met them. I get a few emails every once in a while from people who go, we should defund the police. Overwhelmingly, what the left wants is what I've outlined, which is reform the police, retrain the police, reorganize the police. And by the way, the idea of rampant crime, on average, crime is down over time. And a lot of people don't want to acknowledge this. Oklahoma has a higher per capita crime rate than New York State. Oklahoma City has a higher violent crime rate per capita than New York City. But it doesn't matter. Okay. 7 seconds. It takes me a minute to tell you the lies that have been included in that 7-second period.
There's never been anything like it. Here's my plan to restore law and order in our cities and throughout our country, frankly. First, because police forces have been gutted by Democrats' war on police, I will sign a record investment in hiring, retention, and training for police officers nationwide. So important. This bill will also increase vital liability protections for officers.
He wants more liability protection for officers. Now, I am not someone who says there should be no special protection afforded to police officers. It is undeniable that police officers face a certain type of risk that people who do, baking or podcasting or whatever don't. I acknowledge that. And I don't think very many people would deny that. But what we don't need are blanket protections that make it so police don't even consider the consequences of their actions. And so eliminating those minimum things makes no sense whatsoever.
Because the Democrats want to take those protections away from our police, because we want them to do their jobs, and we want them to do their jobs right. You can't take their protections away if you're going to have them do their jobs properly. Second, to qualify for this new funding and all other Justice Department grants, I will insist that local jurisdictions return to proven common sense policing measures, such as stop and frisk.
So Trump will require stop and frisk. Stop and frisk, which has been widely analyzed as a disaster when it was used in New York City and in other places. Trump says, not only do I recommend, I will require stop and frisk. Wow.
Very simple. You stop them and you frisk them. Strictly enforcing existing gun laws against convicted felons, cracking down on the open use of illegal drugs, and cooperating with ICE to get criminal aliens off our streets and get them out of our country. Third, we will go after the radical Marxist prosecutors who are abolishing cash bail.
I would be shocked to find, listen, might there be one judge? Is there a judge somewhere that's a Marxist? Is there a prosecutor somewhere that is actually a Marxist? Maybe. But the idea that there are Marxist judges and prosecutors as a matter of common occurrence is a joke. There are like no Marxists in the United States. Very few. They exist. Very, very few.
Refusing to charge crimes and surrendering our cities to violent criminals. They have surrendered like never before.
Like dogs.
I will direct the DOJ to open civil rights investigations into radical left prosecutors' offices, such as those in Chicago, LA, and San Francisco, to determine whether they have illegally engaged in race-based enforcement of the law. I will also work with Congress to give the victims of their Marxist policies the right to sue.
Are you a victim of Marxism in 2023 in the United States? Call now for a free evaluation. How stupid does this sound? Victims of Marxism.
Local officials for harm and suffering, and it has been great that they have caused. If your small business is pillaged because shoplifting goes unpunished, if you're brutally attacked by a violent felon released without bail or bond, then you will be entitled to massive damages. Fourth, I will order the...
Did Marxism touch you inappropriately? Have you been damaged by it? Has the labor theory of value perverted your children? Call now. You may be entitled to compensation.
Department of Justice, or some people call it the Department of Injustice right now, and Homeland Security dismantle every gang, street crew, and drug network in America.
Yeah.
Every single one of them will be dismantled. We already know where these turf wars and drug dens are. We know who the people are.
People.
And we're going to charge them and charge the culprits with every crime that we can find.
I don't know why he's screaming. I genuinely don't.
We're going to be fair, but we're going to be tough. We also need the death penalty for drug dealers. So important. And I'd add to that human traffickers. Drug dealers and human traffickers.
Kill them.
Get the death penalty.
There you go.
Watch it stop and stop quickly.
All right. So there is Trump's plan to end crime. And it never really makes any sense. What he says. It also doesn't make sense that his right eye is almost completely swollen shut. I've still never been able to understand that. So I didn't know it was so simple. Compensate the victims of Marxism, and you will be well on your way to ending crime. So these are by the way, this counts as policy to right-wingers. When right-wingers see this, they go, look, this isn't culture war. This is policy. Trump will compensate the victims of Marxism, and that's a great policy that he is proposing. Off the rails, completely off the rails. We'll have this clip and others on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/The David Pakman Show. We will also have this clip and others available in Spanish on the Spanish YouTube channel, davidpakman.com/Spanish. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure to let your Spanish-speaking friends, relatives, and neighbors know. If they want to get progressive political commentary, but they prefer it in Spanish, the place to go is davidpakman.com/Spanish. We'll take a quick break, and the program continues right after this. It's a new year. Many of us are trying to make new positive changes. Here's something really simple that could be a game changer. Our sponsor, Athletic Greens. Every day, I take a scoop of AG1. I get 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients to last me all day long. This way, I just know my nutritional bases are covered for the entire day. It has everything I want, and that's important to me. Rather than doing the individual supplements and vitamins or whatever, I don't want to do any of that, okay? AG1 is the simplest way to just get everything I want for my nutritional foundation each day. AG1 is also a great bang for your buck. You're going to end up spending way more on all those bottles of vitamins and supplements and minerals. So save some money, make your life easier. Just a scoop of AG1. I love the travel packs, which let me take AG1 wherever I go. I have the big pack of AG1 at home. And when you go to athleticgreens.com/Pakman, you'll get 5 free travel packs plus a free year supply of vitamin D, which I use during the winter. The link is down below.